The Riot City Wrestling Championship will be on the line.
Boomer and Sabbath get their hands on the Pariah.
And 30 men fight to be the last man standing and named #1 contender to the richest prize in all of Australian wrestling. This is the Riot City Wrestling Rumble preview. Residents of Riot City, welcome. I'm Sean Fewster, and with me as always, the difference, Tyler Daniels. And the #1 story going in to the Riot City Rumble is Katy Trey.
Indeed, Sean, welcome. Thanks for being here. Great to have you in my company once again. It is Katy Trey who has decided to unlock his title shot against Rocky Monero. Didn't want to go down the path of attacking a weakened champion at the last show. Said, no, I want you at 100%. I want you at the Riot City Rumble one-on-one at your very best. Is that a mistake?
It's a brave strategy, it's an honourable strategy, it's the sort of thing you'd expect of a graduate from the RCW Academy, but I think that there's some danger here for the crossbreed. He's given the veteran an entire month to prepare.
Absolutely, Sean. They say never give a sucker an even break, and believe me, Rocky Monero is not a sucker and certainly needs no even breaks. This is a man that knows how to get around that ring and knows what to do and will do anything he needs to get the job done.
Speaking of knowing their way around the ring, the airbender Royce Chambers is returning to RCW for the Rumble, and he'll be taking on the champ, Nick Armstrong, who's had something of a horror run of late.
Well, I'd like you to say that to the champ, because he is still the champ. And yes, he has. Look, he's coming off a situation where, is his mind going to be on this match? We know the history there with his brother Jet. We know that he has actually had a very bad time of it, expected to get some victories and wasn't able to. My point is, Royce Chambers is coming in fresh. He knows what he wants to do. Is Nick Armstrong going to be on his game for Royce Chambers?
What I really want to know is whether Zak Sabbath and Mike Boomer are going to be on their game. Two men who have such a broad history with one another, now coming together again to face down the former RCW tag champs, the Pariah.
Indeed, we saw the Pariah make their amazing return, surprise return at Rocktoberfest last month when they came in at last minute notice to take on Gods and Monsters. And let's face it, new look, new attitude, and they took Gods and Monsters to a place that they weren't expected to.
They decimated them, let's be honest, they decimated them with those chairs.
Breaking
chairs, breaking men everywhere they went.
They left Gods and Monsters, as well as Boomer and Sabbath, in the ring, decimated with chairs, you said. Going to be interesting. Pariah have a new attitude. Are Boomer and Sabbath going to be on the same page? A lot of history there. They've been against each other, with each other. They've beaten on each other for years. What that means, though, Sean, is you build respect. And respect that you know when you go in that squared circle, you can put your faith in the other man to do what you would do. It's going to be a very, very interesting battle, that.
You raise faith there, and that brings me to our next match. Best friends Chris Basso and Matt Hayter teaming up against Down Under and Dean Brady. This match has come from ego, this match has come from pride, this match has come from the fallout of Rocktoberfest, where we saw Chris Basso fail in his attempt to win the RCW Championship. The done and won rule is in effect. Chris Basso will not get another title shot for 12 months. Many say that's the fault of Matt Hayter.
I believe, including you, said that was the fault of Matt Hayter. A man that you said was absolutely steadfast, a friendship born for the ages between Matt Hayter and Chris Basso. And what we saw was a miscalculation from Matt Hayter, or was it a deliberate act by Matt Hayter?
You're of course going to take the more negative view on that.
I'm going to say it's up for debate, Sean, and let's face it, I don't lose a debate. What I would say about that, though, is we saw an incident with Matt Hayter at their last live show and Down Under it, and I believe that's how we got to this point here.
Yeah, during Jimmy C's C-section, the first ever talk show. If you've not seen that, throw back to our YouTube channel, make sure you check it out.
Yes, thanks for that. Make sure you check that out. Anyway, so Down Under's got himself a partner. I'm not sure how this team came together, but it's Down Under and Dean Brady now going to take on Chris Basso and supposed best friend Matt Hayter.
A challenge that Hayter accepted on behalf of the two of them. Maybe this is going to get them back on the same page. I mean, we just saw how common enemies can bring even Sabbath and Boomer back together.
Yeah, indeed. But you've got to remember, Sabbath and Boomer were both attacked and left laying with chairs. Matt Hayter hit Chris Basso with a chair.
And no matter what happens in all of these amazing matches, all of these men have to compete one more time in the biggest Riot City Rumble in history. Tyler Daniels, 30 men competing to be the #1 contender.
Absolutely, Sean. For the privilege to be able to face whoever is the champion come our final show for the year, Battle for Supremacy, they need to go through 29 other competitors just to get the right to go to that. Now this match, though, anything could happen at any time. You can be hit from any angle. You don't know what number you're going to get. You don't know who's coming out next, who's still there. And we've seen over the years that strange things happen. Anything can happen at any time. It's going to be whoever takes that is going to earn it. I guarantee you, because 29 men is no easy feat.
Well, speaking of who earns it, I'm going to nail your colours to the mast. Tyler Daniels, who's going to win the Riot City Rumble?
Can I be in the Rumble?
No, you can't be in the Rumble.
Are you sure? Are you sure I can't be in the Rumble?
You're on commentary. Check out the rules. You cannot be in the Rumble. I don't know why you bother checking. You know I know the rules.
Maybe. Okay, if that's the case, I'll have to rethink my choice. Sean, how about you? There's some amazing talent going to be here. We've got Matt Hayter, Jet Armstrong. We've got Havoc, the Master of Mayhem's going to be there. We've got, who else is going to be there? Steve Miller's going to be there. So many talented individuals are going to be in this, plus many more. Jensen Hunt, for example. Probably Kit Conda. Who knows? They're all going to be there, Sean.
Stop throwing names at me. This is the most star-studded Rumble we have ever had. It's literally anybody's game. I mean, the power of Gods and Monsters, the speed of Jet Armstrong, the high-flying antics of Kit Condor, the thumb strength of Jensen Hunt, not to mention all the feuds that are coming into this. I mean, what happens if Steve Miller and Havoc end up in the same ring? What happens if tag teams have to face off with each other? What happens if, I don't know, what happens if there's a surprise return? What happens if that monster turns up? You know the one I mean. You've seen it, the videos, the vignettes saying that on November 9, that big thing with the mask and the blowtorch and the workshop. What if that turns up?
Yeah, Sean, if you haven't seen that, please check out the Riot City social pages and you'll see the thing that Sean's talking about. I mentioned earlier, anything could happen at any time. If that thing decides this is its time, that could blow it wide open, Sean. I don't know. Hey, what happens if, for example, Royce Chambers wins that, then has to come back again, and we could have Royce Chambers versus whoever it is? Sean, so many options, but you haven't given me your choice yet.
I'm not going to give you my choice. I'm going to say you need to get your tickets and get down here November 9 to the Latvian Hall for the Riot City Rumble and find out who's going to be the #1 contender for Battle for Supremacy. For Tyler Daniels, I'm Sean Fewster. We'll see you at the Riot City Rumble.